everyone, it's your girl Rachel. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I want to talk about the realness of having curly bangs. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. Why? Why such a weird topic? Why, out of all the things that I can possibly mention about hair, why this? I want to talk about the truth about having curly bangs. So for those who don't know me, I wanted to say I just recently cut my bangs. And it wasn't something that I did professionally, which I'm debating. And I'm like beating myself up about it because I'm like, I probably should have. But I just got the urge one day to cut curly bangs because I feel like going into this new year, I feel like it's been a trend in general. I feel like it's very common to see curly hair girls with like their big voluminous afro and the curly bangs. It's always been a look. Like, I don't want to make it seem like that's something like it's a trend that's just starting. It's always been a look, but I feel like it's something that has become more popular. And you know that as a female, sometimes you just get that urge to want to switch your hair. Like, it happens to all of us. Some of us want to dye it. Some of us want to cut it. We get these crazy ideas when it comes to our hair and wanting to change it. In this case, I wanted to cut bangs because I haven't had bangs, and I said this in my previous video. I haven't had bangs since I was about 15, 16 years old. But when I had bangs, my bangs were always straight. I never liked having curly bangs, and I didn't really know how to manage my curly hair back at that age either. I always wore my hair straight. So wearing curly bangs was never a thing for me. I never liked how it looked on me. Even if I wore my hair curly, I always would straighten the bang because having curly bangs was not it for me. But I started recently to lean more towards liking it and liking, how it looked on other curly hair girls. And I'm like, I want to try this. I want to see how it looks on me. And instead of waiting to get it done professionally, I just had the urge one day to start chipping away, cutting away at my hair. Now, obviously, I started doing this little by little. I didn't just take a bunch of my hair and chop it off. I did start little by little because I didn't want the mistake of cutting more than I needed to, which I feel like I ended up doing regardless. And I wouldn't say that I cut more than I needed to. It's just when it comes to curly hair, we have to be aware of the way that our hair shrinks, like the shrinkage. Not every curl type has the same amount of shrinkage. They just don't. I feel like when you're 3, even in the category 3, but anywhere from 3B on all the way up to 4C, your hair shrinks a lot. My hair is in between the curl patterns of 3, I would say 3C to 4A, even 4B. I feel like the lower parts of my hair are more of fall more to the 3C category. And if I said 3B, I'm wrong. Fall more to the 3C category, whereas the back of my hair and on the top of my hair is where it starts kind of going into the 4A, 4B category. So you just have to keep shrinkage in mind. And unfortunately, while cutting my bangs, I didn't keep shrinkage in mind. Like, this is my bangs and this is how long it actually is. And that's why I say, like, shrinkage, when it comes to curly hair, you cannot cut your hair the same way you would cut it if it's straight. You have to take shrinkage into consideration. And I just happened to kind of forget that. Another thing you have to take into consideration when you have curly hair and you're cutting it, and not only just having curly hair, but specifically in this situation, since I'm referring to cutting bangs, you have to consider that your hair has a lot of different hair, like curl types in it. And that's why I say I have a mixture of like 3C, 4A, 4B, and how it shrinks. So I also mentioned this in my previous video. This side of my hair shrinks less than this side of my hair. So when I came to cutting my hair, no, like I had to cut it, to be honest, I had to cut it uneven, because regardless if I would cut it all together the same length, this side was gonna be longer than this side. That's another thing that I had to take into consideration. So in general, and basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things you want to consider when it comes to cutting your hair. And girls, if you're considering cutting curly bangs, whether you're going to the salon to get it professionally done or whether you're gonna try to do it at home by yourself, let me tell you the real deal about having curly bangs. Let me tell you, let's talk about the realness behind having curly bangs. So first things first, having curly bangs is very, and I mean very, high maintenance. Hear me out. Maybe you will disagree. Watching this video, you'll be like, nah, I have curly bangs and I don't feel that way. But again, it depends on your curl pattern. If you have more of a wavier pattern, maybe it's less maintenance for you. Maybe you feel like it's not that hard of a work. But for me, I only have about 2 weeks with these bangs. And you might be like, okay, are you serious, Rachel? Like, you only have 2 weeks with these bangs and you're already talking to me about how high maintenance they are. Like, at least give it a month or so, or 2 months or 3 months. Like, let me tell ya, wait, hold up, give me a second. So I'm gonna insert a picture here of what my hair used to look like so you guys can kind of get an idea of what my maintenance level was, what I was dealing with, and what I'm talking about. So as you guys can see here, my hair was always either parted in the middle or parted to the side. It was pretty simple, pretty easy. Every night when I had to put it up, because you know, to my curly hair girls, you gotta put your hair up at night, and you wanna preferably put it up in a bonnet, satin or either satin or silk, so that, you know, your hair looks nice and fresh the next day. And when I used to put up my hair, I would always put it up in a pineapple. And to demonstrate, I don't have a scrunchie right. Oh, I actually do have a scrunchie. To demonstrate, I would grab my hair, all of it, like this, and I would grab the front and I would just put all of this in a pineapple. And then my hair would look, you know, semi-decent the following day when I would take it out of the scrunchie. I can't do that anymore. That is no longer an option for me. And I'm still trying to figure out what is the best way for me to put up my hair at night where I don't have to do too much to it the next day, because I work. I gotta get up early. I don't really have time to wake up. You know, I salute my girls who wake up an hour or two extra earlier to get their hair done, to do their hair, to do their makeup, to look good for work. That's not me at all. I like to take advantage of my sleep. I like to take advantage of my bed. And I don't got time to be waking up. I do got time. I just don't want to wake up earlier than I have to do extra stuff. So when I do my washing goals, I like it because all I gotta do is, you know, go to sleep at night, put my hair up, and then the next day I take it out. I'm good to go. My hair's good. Refresh pieces here and there. But I'm finding now, speaking about refreshing pieces here and there, I'm finding now that also with having curly bangs, I also am refreshing my hair more often now. And I don't know if that is a problem. And when I say I don't know if that's a problem, I mean I don't know if it's an issue to constantly be refreshing my hair. Again, before, I didn't really touch my hair a lot. I'm not someone who needs to refresh consistently, because I enjoy the volume that I get as the days pass on with my hair. So day one, it's not it. day one hair for me is not it, because I like volume. I have thin hair. I have fine hair, however you want to say it. So I like to have volume. So day one is not it for me. I enjoy the volume that comes throughout the days. So I don't really like touching or refreshing my hair too much, because the more I refresh it, the flatter it's going to start to look again. Point being, I have to refresh my hair more now, having curly bangs. And that's a lot. It's just a lot. And I don't want you guys to misunderstand me, because I feel like I'm giving lazy, and I'm not trying to give that at all. I'm just saying that it's a lot of getting used to. It's not only a lot of getting used to when it comes to your routine, because your routine changes a lot. The way you style your hair changes compared to when you didn't have curly bangs. It was probably easier. Your face also changes. So not too drastically, but depending on the shape of your face, it also changes. And it just takes a lot to get used to having a new hairstyle, if that makes sense. And obviously with any new thing that you do to your hair, it's gonna take some time to get used to it. So I'm not trying to discourage any of my girlies from getting that haircut if that's what you want to do. I'm starting to learn. I did cut my hair a bit shorter back in March of last year because I try to cut my own hair, I try to cut my own ends, and I butchered it badly. Like, I cut way too much off. It was uneven, and when I went to the salon, which I'm gonna be sharing that photo in the next video, when I went to the salon, she took a picture of my hair, and it was not what I thought it was at all. It was completely butchered, and I had to cut it short. That's the shortest my hair has ever been to me personally in my life. I've always had, I would say, medium hair. I wouldn't say I'd had super duper long hair, but to me, I feel like my hair was pretty long. And it was the first time that I had short hair and I had to cut it because I had the audacity, again, to put scissors on my own head. And given that experience, I've learned that hair is hair and hair will grow back. So there are pros and cons to having curly hair bangs. So I feel like I would consider a pro to be the way your hair just looks when you have curly bangs. It just, I don't know, it's different. Like I said, if you're like me and you like volume and you like to have like a nice shape in your hair, I feel like having curly bangs really suits that nice shape, voluminous shape in your hair. However, if you're the curly hair girl that prefers elongation and length, I'm not saying it's impossible to have curly bangs. I just feel like, and this is a personal opinion, it suits you best when your hair is more in a shape, like in a rounded shape, or even if you have layers, just in a shape where it just makes sense. Whereas it'll probably look a little bit wonky if you have long curly hair and then you just have these lifted bangs. Like, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So I would say that's one pro from having curly bangs. Definitely the shape of your hair. And what's that word? Accentuates. Am I saying that right? It accentuates your hair shape. And again, the frame of your face as well. It suits, maybe not everybody, but definitely suits many people's face framing. It kind of like shapes your face, if that makes sense. Another pro, and I know this is funny, but if you think you have a big forehead, sis, hello, ahí está los bangs. Here are the bangs for your big forehead. And I know that's rude to say, but you know, if you feel a little bit insecure about your forehead, then bangs, again, when I'm talking about the way it suits your face, bangs is an option as well, if you want to consider that. And I know that sounds a little rude, but again, I had bangs in high school, and that was one of the reasons why. I was very insecure about my forehead. Like, I had a lot of acne. I felt like my forehead was big, so I just hid it. I hid all of that under bangs. So I'm not trying to discourage my girls from getting that cut if that's what you want to do. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from cutting their hair and getting curly bangs. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Absolutely. I would have never known what I would have looked like if I would have never did it. I would have never gotten to experience what it is having curly bangs if I would have never cut them in the first place. And my hair is gonna grow eventually, you know, and I think the important thing is to kind of embrace changes. I'm embracing this change, and it is something different for me, and I'm excited to watch my hair grow back again and just see kind of, to continue to record as I make more videos, to continue to record the process, and to have you guys basically join me along as you guys also see how my hair grows. And I'm trying to do extra things to get it to grow faster, hopefully. So I will be also sharing those things, kind of keeping track and kind of making a progress so that you guys can also enjoy of seeing how much my hair eventually grows out, because again, hair is hair and hair grows. So that's the real on having curly bangs. There is much more that can come from that conversation. Like, obviously, again, like I said, the styling process is completely different when you have curly bangs, but your girl is here to talk the real and the raw, and I'm gonna give y'all the real and the raw about any topic that comes to mind. And I just wanted to share the real and the raw about having curly bangs now that I have them. Sometimes I'm like, do I regret it? Like, do I regret it? I don't know. Maybe I should have got it professionally done. Maybe I should have did it in the first place. But again, like, you just gotta experience these things in life. And I'm happy I did it. I had one inspiration, which I'll also put the inspiration here. I had a few inspirations, honestly, and I'll attach them also here so you guys can kind of get a hint of the inspiration or what I was looking for my hair to look like. But regardless if it doesn't look exactly like that, I do enjoy my hair. I enjoy my natural hair. I'm happy with my natural hair, and I enjoy watching it grow and watching it change. And me and my curly hair, we've been through so much. But I just want to inspire you guys, as always, not to discourage, but to inspire you guys to go do it. Just do it. If that's what you want to do, if you want to cut your hair, do it. If you want to dye your hair, obviously be cautious, but do it. Whatever change you're looking to do to your hair, do it, as long as you are learning as well to maintain your hair after you do whatever change you are inspired to do to it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry, I feel like I talk so much, but for those who stayed along in the video with me, thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much to everyone who has been continuously watching my videos. Thank you for the people, or to the people who have recently subscribed to my channel. I invite you guys to like the video and share on the platforms so that we can reach more of my curly hair girlies. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.